Hey, Megan.
How you doing?
I'm really doing good because of this actual show. So there you go.
Show?
Yeah. Yeah, much better actually.
Oh, good. Good. So how are you liking the festivities tonight?
Oh man, I love my parties. I don't think anybody has more fun than I have at my own parties. But of course, once I get through all the planning and all the running around getting things going, I can relax and not have to worry about it too much. But man, we've had a great crowd here tonight.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Isn't this a cool thing? Where else on the planet do you get to meet this many cool people in one party?
I know.
A 21-hour party, no less.
Yeah, right?
We're kind of only getting started here.
I know. I'm already like, what time is it? Oh my gosh, it's only just getting started.
Yeah.
I'm a lightweight.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years, twice a year, and it consistently is a big party, and consistently is always good and fun, and it's just, and people come in. We've had people from, like you guys came in from Austin. We've had people coming in from San Antonio, from a lot of people from Tulsa, people from Wichita, people from Minneapolis. I mean, I don't know how many states we've got here, but quite a few. We've had as many as 11 states represented
at a single party?
At a single party, and as many as 160 people at a single party.
Nice.
I don't think we hit that much tonight, but we certainly hit a bunch of states tonight.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yep.
Why we are here in front of the camera right now is that we are leading up to the launch, or I should say relaunch, of Secular Sexuality, which of course you founded yourself along with Recovering from Religion.
Right.
For Secular Sexuality, how do you feel about the relaunch?
Well, I'm loving it. You guys contacted me. I think you noticed I had fallen off in my production. I'd done this for 3 years, and I didn't know when I started a podcast how much work it was. And I got really into it. I loved it. I loved doing it. But my obligations to Recover from Religion are pretty overwhelming. And my obligations to the Secular Therapy Project are still significant, although we have handed that off to other people. I have a life to live. I'm retired, and I like to travel. So I've been to Africa, and I've been to South America for months at a time. I don't have time for a podcast anymore. So when you guys contacted me, Mark Vanderbrake, and asked me about it, I said, well, I'd love to find out what we could do together. And within a few days, we had figured out what would work. And the main thing was, I'm turning this over to you guys. I'm remaining an advisor for you.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to be an occasional host, but I don't have to take responsibility for the whole damn thing. So I am thrilled about it. And I'm thrilled because I think this is a subject that we need to keep talking about, secular sexuality. And I'm thrilled about it because you guys are going to do it in a different way. I've been watching how you're developing the format. Being video is going to add a dimension, of course. I think, of course, the audio is. And there's so many aspects that I still haven't explored, didn't explore.
Right.
And you've got a feminine side. And I'm just an old white guy. So you can bring a whole new aspect that I can't possibly do. And I think that'll be valuable too.
Well, I hope to carry the torch well. Are you worried in any way?
No, I trust you guys so much. You've had such great experience. I mean, I'm an amateur compared to you. I really am. So why would I have not had a worry. My only curiosity was what kind of a format will you end up with? You're ended up with a better format than I ever dreamed of. So, hell no.
So you do like the 45 minutes of various segments and then the 45 minutes of live calls.
Yeah, I think that's great. I do hope you do some interviews because I think you're going to get some cool stuff from that. I also hope, and I have no expectations, but I do hope you'll go back and pick up some of the old interviews I did because there's information there and there's emotion there that are going to be hard to capture in the new format.
Yes.
And it's good stuff. So
it is. And I know that we have those back recordings, and I do know that we are planning to do something with them.
Okay. Good.
So we are definitely going to keep those in and keep it, try and keep the history of the show up and continue to bring it back.
Yeah. Good.
And of course, some of the old guests that you had.
Yeah, I'm going to help you get those old guests back on.
I would love to have some of those guests back on.
Yeah.
We've actually met some of them here at the party. It's
Yeah.
awesome. So
You have met some of them, haven't you? I didn't think about that. Yeah.
yeah.
You met April.
Mm-hmm.
That's her name that's her pseudonym in the
Mm-hmm.
podcast. But you met April. You know how much fun she is, and
Yes.
she has a story to tell. You don't want to miss that.
No.
So. And there's so many. You're going to get a lot of good stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the call-in format. See, I didn't have any of that. So you have that call-in format. That's going to have people engaged in ways that I could never do. So
That should be awesome,
yeah,
I think.
I think it will be.
And I look forward to having you back on the show with us so that you can continue to have fun with the podcast, but like you said, not have to worry about the scheduling and the editing and all of the time that goes into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I'm not the world's expert, but I do have an angle on secularism and sexuality that nobody else is talking about. In my book, Sex and God, really addresses that. No other book's ever done that. And so I hope I can continue to bring that angle back.
Oh, I would love it. I'd love it if you could.
So I think it's an angle nobody's really explored. And that's why I wrote the book. But that's not the purpose of the podcast, to promote my books. Although you can all you want.
I have no problems with promoting your book.
Well, good. Always glad to hear that.
So aside from Secular Sexuality as a podcast, I was curious about the Recovering from Religion project that you have, that you founded, and it has now taken on a life of its own.
Oh, much a life of its own. That's why I can't do the podcast. I don't have any time. Well, in 2009, after I published The God Virus, I was getting desperate emails, texts, and phone calls from people. I need help. I'm out of religion and I'm so depressed. I'm afraid of hell. I mean, all these things.
Don't know what to do.
Exactly. So I did a kind of experiment. I created I created a meetup page, and I announced that I'm going to have a Recovering from Religion meeting at the International House of Pancakes, just 3 miles from my house.
I believe we passed that one, actually.
You probably did. And I went there knowing there would be one person there, and I knew this person. I get there, and 11 people show up.
Oh, wow.
I only know one person. 11 people I've never met.
From around here.
Yeah, and they just found it on Meetup and showed up. And I asked 2 questions. I said, how did religion hurt you, and how have you benefited from leaving? 3 hours, and I said almost nothing the rest of the meeting, except to keep control and make sure everybody got a chance to talk.
Moderating the conversation.
Yeah, and get to tell their stories. 3 hours later, the restaurant manager is kicking us out because they're closing the restaurant down.
Aww.
And I think, fuck, I have a tiger by the tail. I did not know how cathartic this was. And all these people are telling an ex-Mormon's telling an ex-Catholic, who's telling an ex-Baptist, who's telling an ex-Mooney.
Oh.
We actually had a Mooney at that very first meeting.
Wow.
And they're all saying, wow, that's exactly the same thing happened to me. And you're a Catholic and I was a Baptist. The light bulbs that were coming on from that storytelling.
The similarities between across cultures.
Yeah, we needed to start developing this. Well, I was still running my own business. I'm a psychologist. I had clients all over the nation. I didn't have the time to do what I needed to. So I kind of did a half-assed job starting it for a couple of years. I found a couple of different people to kind of try to help me get it going, but we never did get it going really as much as I thought. And then almost 3 years ago now, we got Gail Jordan to come on as our executive director. We have a kick-ass board. We got a board that is enviable. No board on this planet is as good as the one I've got. I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, well, take my word for it.
I might be biased.
Yeah. Well, I'll give one exception, and that would be the Atheist Community of Austin board.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're still better, but yeah, you're damn good.
Okay.
And this board has just been so amazing. And Gail has just turned out to be the best executive director. So we're just expanding rapidly. We're adding program. Early on in 2012, we added the Secular Therapy Project, which I don't know if you're...
I am very aware, and might I say thank you very much. It saved my life personally.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. I love hearing that.
Yes. I
Cool.
went on and I found a therapist through that because I was at my wit's end with therapists kind of tossing their own personal
Yeah.
baggage at me. And I went on there and found my current therapist, and I've been seeing her for a couple years.
Oh, you made my day. Right there. You made my day.
Well,
Thank you,
good.
Megan, for telling me that.
No, thank you.
Well, that's why we started the psychotherapy project, because so many damn therapists are pushing their religion
They are.
on their clients.
And the clients, of course, oftentimes are too kind of afraid to speak up and say something because
Right.
who are they going to tell?
And they don't know any better.
Right.
And it's actually unethical for therapists to do that. That is a violation of professional ethics, and yet so many of them do it. So that project is a part of the secular therapy, Recovery from Religion, a sub-part of his secular therapy project. And Dr. Kayla Black and Samantha Carlson run that. I was able to hand that part off.
Oh.
I ran it for about 4 years before Caleb took it over. So we've got a good team running that, and I don't have to worry about that too much. And then Gail's running the whole organization, and she's got the hotlines going very well. We've got the calls lines. People can call in from North America, but not outside.
Okay.
But they can chat from anywhere on the planet.
Oh, okay.
We're getting chats from Netherlands, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia. That's a scary chat to get.
Wow.
Chat from Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
We get chats from all over. There's almost not a major country we haven't had chats from. India, Russia, you name it. If they got an internet, people have chatted with us. And they're asking the same questions. As long as they can speak English, because we don't have the capacity to speak every language. But what we're hearing, the same thing. I'm afraid of hell. Whether I'm a Muslim, an Orthodox Christian, a Catholic, a Baptist, doesn't matter. These same fears are coming out. So it's the same brainwashing methods that these religions are using.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got calls, and we can't possibly answer all the people that call us because we need more volunteers. We don't have near enough volunteers. And so I'm
You
here.
hear that? We need volunteers.
We need lots of volunteers.
Yeah.
And we will train you. We train you with the cutting edge technology. And we also use we actually encourage our chat agents and call agents to use street epistemology
Okay.
methodology.
I'm familiar with
Yeah, we think the street epistemology approach is state of the art. We don't think there's anything better. And I'll just tell you, I was a clinical psychologist. The street epistemology approach is what a clinical psychologist is going to learn the first year of their training. So you're getting really good training from us and good supervision. And when you're finished, you'll see how quickly you help people change their entire lives. And we're not doing therapy. We're just asking questions.
Exactly. They're doing therapy themselves by just answering
Exactly.
the questions and thinking about it from a new point of view.
Right, right.
Yep.
So that's one of the that's a few of the many things that's going on recovering from religion. I think you met Todd while you've been here at the party, Rhonda Dorley.
Yes.
Natalie's here. Just a lot of people came from Tulsa, Oklahoma and surrounds to be at the party. And so, these RFR people are starting to gain our own community in some ways. That's kind of nice. We
It
all
is.
love each other and we all have the same mission to help people.
The goal is the same.
Yeah.
Why not have fun and have a family around that?
Yep. And we know how to have fun at recovering from religion.
We do. And with that, I would like to say thank you so much. I'm not going to keep you any longer from
No
your
problem.
party.
Yep. Got to get back.
Yep. Got to be the host.
More partying and drinking and food. Good food. So
Yes.
thanks for having me on.
But especially the booze.
Yeah. Since I didn't bring any, you guys brought it all.
We did. You can have some.
Yeah, you guys brought the best, actually.
Woo!
That was cool. Thank you. This is really a
you.
good interview. I hope,
Yes.
at least I felt good about it.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I was laughing my ass off. I was trying not to.
Oh, okay.
Make noise.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.